My name's Daniel. I am a 30-year-old business professional, young professional, I suppose, working full-time from home. My journey started and meeting Alec was serendipitous because I'd met him a little while before I began CrossFit for the very first time. I was coming out of a season of having kind of letting slip my practices around physical fitness and living a healthy lifestyle, and so I was getting back into it and I really wanted to challenge myself, and so I jumped straight headlong into CrossFit. Had a couple workouts that really challenged me, and then had one workout where we were doing some overhead movements, and I came out of that workout feeling pretty tender but okay. I thought that was just sort of part of the CrossFit process, but I woke up the next day unable to roll out of bed. Ended up calling out of work and going into urgent care, maybe even think about getting an MRI. But after getting a little bit of an assessment and an x-ray, we found there was no breaks. But I did end up getting a steroid shot and immediately saw Alec right after that. He wanted to see and assess based on the workout that I had done and where I was at physically, what he thought was going on. And both he and urgent care sort of affirmed without an MRI that I had basically either bulged or compressed a disc in my low spine, which was leading to a ton of nerve pain going down my left leg. My low back was like completely locked up. Felt like I couldn't sleep very well. So yeah, it just sort of took over. And for someone who's normally been pretty active and who moves around a lot, it can be a huge drain and actually like really challenge me mentally to, stay encouraged and stay engaged day in and day out. So yeah, I came in kind of at a low state and pretty hopeless because I had never felt that big of an injury before. I was thinking my 2024, which I wanted to be a year of returning back to fitness, was a complete wash. Alec was optimistic and positive, and we started with some dry needling, which is something I'd never done before. I was actually kind of nervous for, and that went great. I was pleasantly surprised with that experience. It provides a lot of great blood flow, and I found that it really helped with the tenderness and stiffness that I had. One of the things early on that I was really excited that Alec had said was that the reason people get back injuries or hip injuries as they get older isn't because of some like catastrophic event. It's actually small, minor events that happen on the other end of a long period of not ever training or utilizing that joint or that body part or that movement pattern. And so he was actually saying, we're gonna move toward using that movement pattern and that your low back strength, like building that up, rather than try to protect it and live around it. And to me, I thought that as far as an ethos or a methodology, that was really encouraging, and I was excited about that. I just thought that would take a year to get to any kind of movement. I remember our first session, I couldn't get up off the bench without shaking and locking up on my low back. By that meaning doing sort of a push-up press. And after like a week, I was doing that daily, and it's now a practice daily that I have. That was awesome. Ever since, a couple of the big milestones were, I really had wanted to continue on with CrossFit, and it's something that I've stepped away from just during this recovery process, and thought that for the rest of this year I probably wouldn't be getting under a bar or doing really any exertion at all, and just doing like really light band work or keep doing those floor press-ups. But I was surprised that after a couple weeks we were actually working out in really safe and contained ways. I remember one day he came in and said we were going to do barbell back squats, and I thought, yeah, right. But we set it up, and I got under the bar, and I confidently and with a decent amount of effort and exertion was able to do a back squat, which to me was like something I didn't envision for 2024 at all. So that was a huge win for me. Being able to exert myself doing some of the conditioning work that we've done. I thought that, I would sort of just put on a ton of weight, get really lethargic because of the low intensity that I would need to keep my exercise at for the next 6 months. And I have just been so excited to push whenever I come in. I can trust that the work that we're doing has been really well thought out, so I'm not gonna hurt myself, and I can actually get a sweat on. I can actually put in work, and yeah, my body can feel that. And I feel like I can rely on the type of workouts that he builds for me I can rely on the treatment that I get in the first half of our sessions, and then I can rely on the prescribed at-home work to really save me from any kind of tenderness or pain that I would have, even outside of session. So yeah, been stoked, it's been amazing. Can't wait to keep going. I recognize, recovery is a journey, and so I've had to be okay with that, but I'm like completely committed to bulletproofing my low back and getting to a place in this recovery process where we start strengthening and continue to move forward, so that not only is this not an injury, but it's also not a weakness of mine moving forward. And yeah, I feel confident that's where we're gonna get to. So.